Hello everyone, it's Dio from Firm Fair Gaming, bringing you another World of Warcraft video. Today we're going to be talking about the announcement out of Blizzard for the changes that are coming in 9.1.5 that is going to drop on October 5th, but it's going to hit the PTR next week. They announced some pretty good changes that are coming our way to make our lives easier. So let's get into them. Let's tell you what they're all about. The biggest change that is coming in 9.15 that everybody is talking about is the Covenant change. So once you reach maximum renown, you are going to be able to freely switch among any of the four covenants. So of course we have Venthyr, Necrolord, Nightfey, and Kyrian. You're going to be able to switch freely throughout them. There's going to be no cooldown, so you're going to be able to change as often as you want. You could do one dungeon, pop back to, I'm going to guess Oribos, change to another faction and go again. Sorry, Covenant. And as well, you're not going to lose any of your cosmetic rewards that you've earned from one Covenant, even if you are currently a member of a different one. Both the Covenant switching and the use of cosmetic rewards will also apply to alts once the renown threshold is reached on at least one character. So that being said, it means prior to 9.1.5, so prior to October 5th, you're going to want to reach max renown on at least one character. So max renown by that point in time, we're going to be able to get to 80. So you're going to want to make sure you get to 80 as prior to October 5th, so prior to the drop of 9.1.5. So this is going to be huge because of course this allows us to switch freely throughout them. So there's no more of you have to do that painful rep grind and doing the storyline in order to gain the rep. So they also announced that once you complete the Covenant storyline on one character, you will be able to skip that on all alts. So that means that as soon as you complete it on one, the next time you get an alt to Shadowlands to 60, you can then pick a Covenant and it will skip you right to getting your third Soulbind. So you'll skip right to having 40 renown. So that is going to be awesome as well. Can't wait for that. Looking forward to that so much. I know that it has been quite painful for people to do the rep grind. They want to switch Covenants, but grinding out now that we can get to 80 and we're currently this week our max is 64, to try to grind all that rep is quite time consuming. So this is going to be massive, being able to just switch back and forth for Mythic Plus as well as rating. It's going to be pretty huge. Definitely looking forward to that. Definitely the biggest announcement that's coming out of 9.1.5. Additionally, they're going to be adding or removing the Covenant energy, or sorry, the Soulbind energy, so the Conduit energy. So as we know, as we were respecing throughout Shadowlands so far, we've had this bar at the bottom of our Soulbinds, which was our energy, and we could only switch our conduits every so often because this slowly recharged. So they are getting rid of this. So this is a minor improvement. So that is going to be nice as well to get rid of that, so we can just change back and forth. So that's a pretty sweet update as well. They also announced that they will be doing some cosmetic upgrades, so or rather I should say some character customizations. So there are a few different races that you're going to be able to do some changes on. So we have the Lightforged Draenei, as well as the Void Elves, and we're looking at new travel forms for Druids and new soul shapes for the Night Fae. So there's a few different changes that are coming that way, so that's also going to be interesting as well. So that'll be cool for people to play around and change up their characters like that. They are also introducing a Maw Skip, so players who have completed the introduction in the Maw on one character will be able to speak to High Lord Darian Moorgreen in the capital city to skip it on their alternate characters on their account. So that is pretty good. So that means once done, we don't have to continually go through the Torghast with all our alts to find all the various heroes that we need to go free. So this is nice there. This will definitely speed up our time as well as helping our alts in the long run, getting them geared up and calibrated to the new tier that we're in, whether it's 915 or 91, whatever. So this is pretty good. Looking forward to this as well. Additionally, they're also making the allied races. So the Kultirans, the Mechanomes, and the Dark Iron Dwarves, they had a dungeon requirement in order to unlock them before. You will no longer need to complete the associated quest to gain access to the races. Players will be able to skip it instead, so this helps make it easier for the Alliance players, or if you want to unlock these races to be able to play them. So that is big as well, because that was a painful part of the storyline or of the unlock process. So getting rid of that, pretty helpful there. Enjoying that, that's good. Also, some good news that is coming in 9.1.5 is we are going to be able to do legendary recycling. So at the start of 9.1, everybody found out that they were DOM slots in the raid, and of course some of those items with the DOM slots took over your legendaries that you had already spent all your hard-earned gold and time farming and building, and so they added this in, which is the recycling. So we will be able to take our legendaries that we are no longer using, or if we happen to build it for a wrong slot or whatever happened, we will be able to recycle them and get some of the materials back. We're not yet sure how much materials we're going to be getting back. We're going to get back some at least, so that is good news. It's going to help when we need to change those legendaries into potential new powers that are coming in 9.15, or rather 9.2, probably more likely. We will be able to recycle our existing legendaries that we will no longer be using and get some of those resources back. So that's a nice change as well, just a nice quality of life change here. There are some other additional changes that are coming our way as well. So we're gaining more travel points in the Maw. So that'll be handy and just a quality of life like they said they were going to do. So we're going to get to jump around the Maw a little bit easier. Korthia, they are adding a remote anima turn in. So Korthia is pretty good at giving tons and tons and tons of anima. So they are talking about adding in a turn-in point in Korthia, so no longer will you have to jump back to your Covenant in order to free up your bag spots, because that is a little bit of pain in Korthia. Your bags fill up super, super quick. Also, they are talking about making it shareable potentially with alts. You'll be able to share the anima, as well as it might travel with you or will travel with you when you switch covenants as well, because I know that was also a bit of a pain point. If you switch covenants at the moment, you lose all of your anima, so talk about keeping that as well. They're going to add transmog linking, so similar to if you've ever done Mythic Plus, where you can link your routes and all that. There's going to be, or sharing weak ores, you'll be able to share a link that will appear in general chat, party chat, wherever you would like, and people will be able to click on it and see your character transmog. So that'll be pretty cool. I expect trade to be filled with that, so you get to see what other people are doing, and that'll be pretty interesting. They've also added in heirloom group heirloom gear upgrades. So I believe right now the cap is that heirloom gear is 35. They're going to increase that, so it'll help with leveling alts. So you'll be able to do that at your major cities. They've also going to be increasing the rune carver recipe drop rates to 100%. So no longer will you have to continuously farm dungeons. If the power is there, then it is going to be 100% guaranteed to you. So you'll just need to do it once and you'll have it. They also are going to, they didn't say which talents and abilities, but there are going to be talent and ability upgrades and changes, and we'll just have to wait and stay tuned to see what those are. And so that'll be interesting as well. They always do that in halfway patches or mini patch between upgrades. So basically, they're just going to rebalance some things. So it'll be interesting to see what those are. We'll have to keep our eyes and ears open to see that, any blue posts or anything that's going to indicate that way. Overall, those are all the changes that are coming in 9.1.5. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think that it'll be fun. There's going to be a lot of quality of life changes that they're adding in there, so I'm looking forward to it. The Covenant change is going to be massive. That is probably the best and biggest one that they have that they announced, so that'll be huge, being able to do that. It'll be interesting to see how that impacts rating, because you'll be able to do one boss, maybe jump out, switch covenants, and come back in. So it'll be interesting to see how guilds use that or utilize that. It's going to be pretty huge. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It'll save on having to grind up all that renown. So just keep in mind that what you'll want to do before 9.15 hits, so before October 5th, you're going to want to make sure that you hit the max renown on 80, because that'll open up so much capability for you in your alts. So just make sure you hit 80. So right at the moment we're at 64, and we're going to gain a couple points every week. So just stay on top of your renown. If you want to make sure you're doing something by 9.1.5, just make sure you're grinding out your renown and we'll be good to go. So, as always, I hope you have liked this video. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know below. We'd love to talk about this. We're excited about it. It'll be good. And also, we appreciate any likes and subscribes. And as always, you can find us on Twitch. Have a good one, everybody.